Welcome back mga karakdag. Mga karakdag. Finally, we have an answer to those who have been asking us, when will you restart or when will you resume Rakdag? Rakdag will change also for a better.
To live is to change, and to be perfect is to have changed all.
My dear friends, we are back, but we made some adjustments.
The obvious difference is that the Rakdag 1.0 or 1.0 is pandemic Rakdag. Now it's Rakdag 2.0, it's post-pandemic.
This whole episode is all about introducing to you these few changes that we think probably could change a bit our reach, our approach, or the tone. That's why we're now speaking in this lingua franca that we call English. Good morning, Bicol. Good morning, world. Rakdag is back. Good morning, Father Philip.
Diyos maray na aldaw sa Indigo Boss, Father Francis.
Yeah, and finally, we have an answer to those who have been asking us, when will you restart or when will you resume Rakdag? So here we are with a new format, with a new studio, but with the same old partner that we have here.
Yes. Small talks about big things in life.
Yeah, let's talk about big things in life. And so it's been a roller coaster for both of us, Father Philip and I. There were changes in our assignment. There were, of course, changes even with the crew. And of course, we have a different venue. We have different schedules now, and so there are changes going on. And therefore, Rakdag will change also for a better, probably, or.
Yeah, I remember Saint John Henry Newman, quotation: "To live is to change,
Wow,
and to be perfect is to have changed often."
that's deep. Let me reflect on that for some few seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so Father Philip, let's take a look back at what happened these years, all these years. How long have you been here as partners in this show?
We started 2020, no? Yeah,
2020.
and we had at least for 2 years, two full years.
Wow.
And we had 3 seasons
Okay.
and almost 60 episodes, or 50 to 60 episodes for 3 seasons.
And to think this started during the pandemic.
Yeah, when everyone is in their house, and in the restriction lockdown.
Yeah. So we thought of coming up with a talk show. The very simple motive, of course, is evangelize. Right when people were like losing their hope, when people were down, and not everyone could go out of their houses. So not everyone could go back to their work. And so life was really hard. But we were there to accompany them. And through our small efforts, probably we were able to accompany them, and we have evolved since day one. Can you recall some of the things, Father Philip, that we have changed along the way in order to adjust?
Well, we started with our talk show, the 2 of us. Then we invited also speakers, the guests.
Yeah.
So we have experts on the particular field. We based our topics on the liturgical seasons, okay, and the important celebrations of the day, of the month.
Yeah.
Then we had also, actually I remembered, we also had a debate about
Yeah, that was
the
that was my
climate.
favorite
How
part.
about the climate change debate, which is now very pressing issue today.
Yeah, even the environment. And even Pope Francis has, ever since he issued the Laudato Si. And of course, Fratelli Tutti. Fratelli Tutti, a lot really has changed. And so, my dear friends, we are back, but we made some adjustments. And this whole episode is all about introducing to you these few changes that we think probably could change a bit our reach, our approach, or the tone. That's why we're now speaking in this in this lingua franca that we call English.
Yeah, I think the obvious difference is that the Rakdag 1.0 or 1.0 is pandemic Rakdag. Now it's Rakdag 2.0 that's post-pandemic.
So can we call now this this season as post-pandemic season?
Well, in China there's still COVID, but the news. But because of I think thanks to the vaccinations also, and that we are now free outside. We can go out with less restrictions at home.
So I think that's the big change that really happened. We can now freely walk out of our house. We can go back to our work now. Everyone is, very few people would now wear masks even in public places, and it's now optional. It has been made an order, an executive order probably, that it is now optional to wear masks. But still, we remain cautious. We remain vigilant that another new strain probably could come by or swing by in one of these days. But this time we're wiser, and I hope we too also have grown wiser.
I hope so. Yeah, and I think another change is the change of location, the change of place.
Okay.
We were parish-based during that time, in Rakdag 1.0, but now we are seminary-based. Your new home, the minor seminary.
Yeah, so that's one of also the big changes that happened. We used to be both pastors, and that's why we said we'll use the grammar of simplicity coming from Pope Francis. But now I think we're trying to reach out more to the younger people as we went back to the drawing board. I think last time, if I remember it right, January 5, we had a meeting and evaluation of the Rakdag episodes. And we tried to look at the analytics or the insights that found in the Facebook, and we can see that most of our audience are what's the age that we can reach?
Senior,
more bordering to the senior stratum of the society, and so now we would like to reach out a little bit to the younger ones, and hopefully we made a few changes on this show. And now that we're in the minor seminary, all the more that we need to adjust, because hopefully some of our students here, minor seminaries, could probably watch this, without both of us cringing a little bit. Probably they could identify with some of our topics, some of the way we do things here. So yeah, that's part of those little changes that we did.
Yeah, the millennials. In short, I think we are really reaching out to the young people, and also to still part of the peripheries, those who are in the peripheries.
Yeah, true. So of course we could not exclude those people in the peripheries. So hopefully, if our editing theme will be better this time, so. We could probably put some subtitles in Korean or in Chinese or in Bicol. So I think another thing that we have observed, Father Philip, when we went back to studying the analytics, is that we kind of lose our audience around 3 minutes, after 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So not everyone had this the luxury of time of watching us, the full episode. And so I think what we're doing something new. We will explain later on to address this issue. So we need to capture our audience right at the start of the show.
So yeah, the 3-minute attention span, But I think it's also it's really a challenge for us really to adjust and to adapt and to pivot. I think to pivot. And to think of how really to attract. I remember that. I think I remember Pope Francis, no, in his Evangelii Gaudium. Remember, the church wins people. It is not through proselytism, but by attraction. So it's a church by mission by attraction. So I think Rakdag should also be very attractive to our audience.
We're the only ones not attractive here.
Yeah.
So hopefully we could do something about it.
Yeah.
Our good editing team right now
Yeah.
could do something about it. Change a little bit.
Yeah.
Make us wear costumes. But one thing I've learned, most especially from one of the church figures that we look up to, for example, Bishop Robert Barron, for example. He said that for so many times people have encouraged me to let the bishop ride a skateboard, bring a skateboard, and then probably you get rid of the clerical, and then probably you can be attracting a lot of young people. But on the contrary, he said, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick with my Roman color. I'm going to stick with the way priests dress.
Okay.
And I'll talk about intellectual stuff, and let's see who picks up all these things that I'm sharing. And so, looking back, I think he had a big success without compromising his clothes, the way he looks, the way he talks. And I do believe a lot of people are following him, are getting influenced and educated through the things that he do. So he kind of elevated the audience in such a manner that instead of him stooping down, he tried to elevate the culture. I think that's the goal, to elevate the culture so that it could probably approximate itself nearer to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like a delicate balance, balancing act of not forgetting our identity because we are priests, but not forgetting also our audience and meeting them where they are, and then bringing them where God wants them to be. So I do remember also Saint John the 23rd. He said in the church, it's like there are two, the brake and the accelerator. So you cannot step always on the brake.
Yeah.
So we cannot move all along, no. So there will be no movement. But if you step always on the accelerator, you will hit somebody or meet an accident. So it's a mixture, a right mixture of movement of brake and accelerator.
True. So I think virtue lies in
The middle.
the middle. Okay, so whoever said that?
Aristotle.
Is it Aristotle? And
Yeah.
I think Saint Thomas Aquinas also picked it up. In medio virtus sta. And so so
You
we'll
still
try
remember
to
your Latin, eh?
a little bit. But right now, because I'm teaching it, so I'm forced to use it.
Oh,
and
I
to
forgot
review.
that you're already in the seminary. I thought you're still in the parish. So I forgot that, you have to change some location, really. How's it to be a formator again and director?
Oh, it's entirely different world.
Oh.
It has, a whole world of challenges. So, if you think a pastor can have, multiple roles, it's the same thing here, except that we're dealing here not only with we're not dealing here with students only. You also have to, of course, adjust with the parents because these are minors.
Okay.
And so the parents are very much involved here. So it's much like the parish, where the parents are much present, whose presence are much desired also as collaborators and formators. And of course, you have the whole academic language and environment, which I'm still, trying to understand and learn how to go about. We have to adjust to the government agencies like the Department of Education, and it has its own language and ways of doing things that we need to adjust to. And not to mention the finances. That's the biggest problem.
I remember Jose Marichan, not only his Christmas songs, but his life is a constant change. So I think you have congratulations to your new assignment. And the new location of our Rakdag, of course.
True. So if we really don't evolve, I think we die. they cease to exist.
Right.
And that's true not only not only with Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, but it's very much true also with our ministry.
Uh-huh.
We learn how to, pivot. We learn how to evolve. If we don't evolve, then probably we gather a lot of moss and we don't grow.
You mentioned Charles Darwin. Exactly, that is the one who survives, and not the strongest or the fittest, but the one who is able to adapt and to evolve.
Okay.
The origin of species in its natural selection theory.
Okay, so friends, when we come back, we'll try to explain a little bit some of the changes that we have introduced in a new episode, and we're trying to call it now a video podcast. I do not know what that means, but probably later we can shed light on this, and hopefully you guys stay tuned and keep on following so we can collaborate together, and probably we can also hear from you.
Yeah.
If you can say a few things how we could improve the show.
Yeah.
We're back. We were talking about the new look and feels of Rakdag 2.0. And of course, together with me is Father Philip, the good pastor of Nuestra Senora de Katignanan in Nabwa. And we were talking about the context has changed. And, part of our mission, part of being inside the church is also, of course, to change. As we say it, the church is
Always reformed.
always reformed.
Iglesia semper reformanda.
Reformanda. And so, what are the things that we are changing a little bit in our episode here? We said we learned a few things, and then, it's more or less a post-pandemic episode. People are now busy going back to their work, and they don't have much time. So what are the things that, Father Philip, do you think, what are the things that we have changed a bit in our program?
Yeah, of course, we changed the tone. The tone should be more catchy for the millennials. And not only that, we a little bit loosen up the substance in the topic, sparing ourselves from such heavy stuff, and trying to be more interactive and more conversational, dialogical. So that's why we are trying to find a system where our audience can participate and can real time can comment on our topic.
Let's remind our viewers that they can comment anytime that they want to. They can give us instant feedback as this show is being shown. You can give us some few ideas how you'd like your show to be. But I think the big change that we have done is the format of the show. Like we used to have it as if it's a TV show, complete with like a studio feels and everything. I remember we had to change for several times some of the furnitures. We had to reupholster some of our chairs then. And but this time it's a little bit different, and you see all these microphones, all because we wanted to get a feel of how it is to do a video podcast at the same time also a podcast if you take off the video. And so why the change into this format? Based on our research, podcast, for example, podcast is indeed a very valuable tool when it comes to learning. In the study of the Duke University, the US, they discovered that students would even prefer podcasts as a means or a tool for reviewing for classes. More effective than having notes, because while on their way back home, they could simply listen to the whole lecture and then review what happened in the class, or they could they could learn in the manner that they want, when the time they want to. So it enjoys a greater flexibility than simply a classroom instruction. And the best thing I think is that it's a push technology when it comes to information. It's not like pulling. You don't have to go to the websites and download the whole podcast thing. But podcast, it's like a form of a subscription, wherein when you download, for example, this episode, it keeps on downloading in itself. So there's very little effort on your part to get the information that you'd like to. And another good thing is that you can use it while driving the car.
Okay.
So you can simply listen to it even without the without the added value of the audience seeing us. How we look.
Yeah. Okay. So at least you said it keeps on downloading. It's like replicating and replicating itself. So and I think it's really that kind of responding to the needs, the needs of the millennials, our priority audience today.
Okay. So I hope you can download our podcast. I hope it's already ready. And of course, we're also trying to migrate some of our stuff in YouTube, which I think we failed last time.
Okay.
We failed to upload, but looking back, I think it's very useful to really have it in YouTube because when you type it on, in terms of searchability,
okay,
it's easier to find it if it's archived in YouTube rather than in Facebook, because I'm having a hard time looking for our back episodes in Facebook.
I was able to talk to someone about, Father, when are you going to revive Rakdag? What happened with Rakdag 1.1? So it come to an end. It is a natural end. So I said, got tired or got some adjustment or what? But it's like you have a little pause, a halt, or a kind of hibernation, I would say, in order to reflect upon and looking on what happened and analyzing what happened and learning from the first Rakdag 1.0. We are willing to improve. That's I asked that I'm willing to challenge my old assumptions. Okay, my basic assumptions of is this already enough? Can we still pivot? Can we still improve? Can we make ourselves better? So I believe that kind of principle of evolution, evolving for the better, changing for the better, in order to respond well to our audience, because there's such a principle as clarity of perception, accuracy of response. So if you have a clear perception of what you're doing, of the recipients, then you will be able to respond very well. So without running the risk of being reduced into oblivion.
Wow, true. And so the push there that I was mentioning a while ago, it's not only meant for the technology, but the same manner we are also being pushed to go out of our comfort zones and evolve, adjust to the needs of our audiences. Of course, adjust also to the needs of the context that we are in right now.
Right.
So people are busy. So connected to this is another change that we did is we will be providing you with a minute summary, sort of video summary of the whole talk of the whole show, so that in a glance you can see what transpired along the way. So probably some of the sound bites or some of the things that you could pick up easily when you're busy.
Recalling about, of course, we are now in the continental stage of synodality, so we are now preparing on that. So we have heard, I think, following the line of Pope Francis thought that we should always put the people of God in mind. Speaking, as you have said, the grammar of simplicity, and always thinking of their needs rather than of our needs, of their comforts rather than of our own comforts.
I've been thinking about that lately, because when we were trying to review all the expenses of the seminary, we were trying to look at the electric bill. So we say, oh boy, this is a lot. This has doubled So one of the things that we were ranting is that the board and lodging fee practically remained the same, like way back 3 years ago, compared 3 years ago than we have right now. And in fact, right now we have a lot of things that really change, even the electric bill. And so we were reflecting a little bit, saying, why are we here in the first place? And we came to a conclusion that we're here for the students, for these young people, for these young guys who have entertained the thought of the vocation. For them is the priesthood, and that they have been called by God. And so we are all here, 7 of us, 7 strong formators. All of us are here precisely for that mission, for the people, for these young people who have who think that they could contribute to the ministry of the church as practically full-fledged priests, as disciples of the Lord.
And I think adding into what you have said, Rakdag has to evolve also, despite the looming recession or inflation or the high price indexes of our goods and services. But we continue to bring the gospel despite the challenges of the present times, or what you call the signs of the times.
How do your parishioners react to the current inflation or the current economic crisis?
I was
This is really much felt,
because I do the marketing. I had to go together with my cook. First time it was the onions is on 300 peso per kilo. Now it's already 800 per kilo. So is it that an actual proof of the inflation?
So that's more or less 150%.
Let's just
130%.
plant na lang onions. We start planting onions in our backyards.
Yeah, a lot of memes are going around. Onions have replaced diamonds on the rings of the couples. It has now become a status symbol. So we're good at memes, but reflecting on the difficult situation that we are in, I mean, the church has also to adjust to that. Okay, so do you still have second collections in your
No, we don't have second collection unless that's the officially mandated second collections.
That's very courageous of you.
Because we have to really be in solidarity, synodality. If it's synodality, walking together, we should really adjust. I should also adjust with my parishioners. So I do believe another call or challenge for Rakdag 2.0 is to make it really synodal. So how can we really allow our audience, the millennials and our adult viewers, to participate? How can they participate in our Rakdag 2.0?
Well, the easiest way to participate is by making your comments at the comment box. And of course, we can also provide the link if you want it a little bit techy and formal. We can provide Google Sheets or Google Forms to send us your evaluation, your feedback, your comments. Whether it's negative or positive, we would appreciate it very much. And of course, since this will be viewed in different communities, then you can practically also suggest, we will go back to interviewing resource persons. We will be focusing on the different communities or ministries of the church, or different sectors of the society. And so let us know if you want to be featured in our show. Then we'll probably invite you, or we could go back to your place. You go to your place, and let's see how we can collaborate. Okay, so we're open to any suggestion.
And another feature is that we now become a hybrid, because your context is the seminary, my context is in the parish. Unlike before, both of us are in the parish, so our Rakdag can be in aid of seminary formation, in aid of helping the young millennials respond to the call of Christ.
True. In fact, I was thinking that if we could level up a little bit and then really improve on this show, this could be a good supplemental learning material. We can do that in the classrooms. We can show this to our students, and so this remains to be a big challenge for both of us, Father. And we would like also to thank, of course, the Cáceres Commission on Communications,
with Father
because I
Louis.
think they promised us to show this not only in our own pages, the Holy Rosary Minor Seminary, and of course Nuestra Señora de Katipunan, but now they're actually showing it or posting this one at the Archdiocesan page. And so I hope we can reach a lot more audience.
And if I may add, I think our methodology, our strategy of Rakdag as a platform of dialogue, because it's a dialogue that is the way towards peace. And we pray that this ongoing war in Russia and Ukraine will really end, and that there will be dialogue between these brothers, so that we will be able to find peace also.
Okay, so we started with change and we end up with peace.
Yes.
So we change for the peace of everyone.
When it changed in order to arrive at peace.
Peace.
Shalom.
Shalom. We would like to thank you for accompanying us once again in this episode of the new Rakdag, or Rakdag 2.0, or Rakdag revamped.
Yeah.
Here's Father Francis.
Father Philip, Diyos mabalos.
Just marvelous.